give Jodi and Tyler our attention.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, let's fire. Okay. So we're doing QLab, and the cool thing about our presentation is it's got the demo mixed into it. So QLab is going to be firing all sorts of stuff while we're talking. And this is going to be 20 seconds. It's like a getting you guys hyped up kind of thing.
Yeah.
Bringing you into our presentation. Yeah. Yeah. All right.
QLab.
QLab. I'm going to wait for this music to get out of my way. All right. Awesome. So, a little bit of history about one. Hello?
Is this firing inside of QLab?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, this is all firing inside of QLab.
The
Yes.
lines are firing.
Yeah, who needs PowerPoint? We're living in like 3019 right now.
We'll talk more after.
Yeah, we'll show you guys how we did it. But yeah, so a little bit of backstory about QLab that isn't on the slide right now. Basically, with the boom of technology and like the rise of playback technology and playback audio, a lot of live performances needed more capable programs to fire audio and fire different effects. Like they really didn't have a lot going on. They had to like just kind of improvise, and so
or create their own software.
Yeah, and so it wasn't accessible at all. And so one of the first ones was Matrix 3, and it was a program that was capable of like sending and processing. But the thing about the processing was it had like this separate machine that processed all the audio effects. And so it was like way too expensive and way too complex for most theaters to use. And so it wasn't like a widely used program. And so SFX kind of came after that. And it's basically like an open URL kind of software that can send a lot of different data. And it wasn't as user-friendly. And so that's where QLab came to be, because Figure 53 was like, oh, we can do you one better. We can make a more accessible program. And thank you. Yeah. And so on May 25th, 2007, they created QLab. And so it's basically capable of firing a lot of different things, so...
Yeah, so it can control anything from video to audio to lighting. It also works with MIDI cues. They've built a new function. It's called a Go button, and it's for your phone. But we'll get more, like you have to pay for that.
Yeah, we'll get more
so
into that.
we did not pay for that.
No.
But it allows you to basically be, like let's say this is running in the back of the house and you want to sit in front of the house and watch what's happening on stage. You can trigger QLab remotely. Using that, or MIDI, as we're doing now. You can also have somebody on stage with a MIDI controller controlling the show while acting, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
There's a lot of possibilities with the control side of it. Now, lighting we didn't get too much into because you have to have DMX and lighting, which we do not have. But most of what we did was audio and video and some MIDI stuff. So
yeah.
Yep. Pricing. So overall, QLab is free. That is the whole idea. Is you don't have to pay for it.
You can just download it right
away.
Which
is what we did. Yeah.
Yep.
So it is running right now for free. But certain things you want to do will require you to purchase a license or rent it to own it for a day, or just straight up buy it. So like some functions, like if we wanted to do a fade on video. We couldn't do that without purchasing the license. Now we can fade audio, but not video. Or if we wanted to use that Go button on our phones to trigger things, we would have had to purchase the license.
Yeah.
There's just certain things like that you would have to do. So the way that works is you can choose one. So if you want to add professional video to it, that's $400. If you want to add two, so audio and video, or if you want to just get everything, those are kind of the different pricing structures. So.
Yeah. So the pros, the accessibility, it's very easy for somebody to fire up QLab and learn it. Like a lot of sound designers in theater when they're just starting out, like they go to the Mac and everything. Yeah, accessibility. Yeah. They go to the Mac and they can just learn it like super easily. Like I picked it up super easily. You pick it up really
literally,
easily.
I
Yeah,
made this whole thing.
it's
and I've
not
never
a
used it
problem.
before.
Yeah, it's like not hard to use at all. And the accessibility has kind of led it to being the industry standard because like it's such a simple program to use. And also it's Mac OS exclusive, and so like a lot of DAWs of course are used on Macs, and so it's like, oh, QLab's also on a Mac, so it's kind of like the Pro Tools of live performance.
Yeah, it's kind of built for creatives. So.
Yeah, and then it is, although you do have to pay for the more advanced features, it is free to download. So anyone could just download it if they wanted to and start messing around with it. The cons, though, like SFX and a few other programs do have a few more capabilities, like they can send different types of data and more things to that degree, and it is only limited to Mac OS, which was my problem. I couldn't work on the presentation as much as I wanted to because I have a Windows computer, so I couldn't download QLab onto my computer, so that was unfortunate. Projects, yeah.
So I mostly was looking into this for my senior project to do like some multi-channel audio work. So it does use, it can integrate well with multi-channel audio systems. So you can kind of configure where sounds go and how that works and trigger it in the show, as well as doing some video stuff, which is pretty nice. But I looked at it mostly for that.
Yeah. And assuming I wasn't a senior right now and my senior project wasn't due this week, yeah. Thank you. I would be really interested in doing a light and sound collaboration in the theater. Like, we have 2 separate boards in the theater right now, one for lighting and one for sound, and we also have 2 different board ops. But it would be really cool if we could get all those to fire consecutively together in one QLab session. That would be amazing to figure out. So, yeah, that would be my project. I would mess around with that, or try to mess around with that, and see if we'd have to probably purchase a license, but it'd be fun. Dean's fun.
But the next 2 parts of this are basically some like we're going to show you how to do this in the demo. So
Yeah.
this is kind of so it does work with cameras, which is pretty interesting.
Hello.
So we came up with a neat idea for this. If you ever had a production of Wizard of Oz, you could have a camera backstage on the wizard and then be able to trigger it all through QLab and then have it live then and there. So it's pretty interesting. Yeah, pretty fun. But yeah, that's kind of it. And then after this, there's a video. There's a video that triggers. You can actually edit and trim video inside the software, so you actually don't have to use like other softwares to do that.
But you can't fade it.
Yeah, you can't fade it, which is pretty funny.
You have to buy a license to fade it.
And then also it also has a ducking feature in it too that allows you to duck other audio if this is starting. So we're going to show you kind of how to do that.
Yeah.
SpongeBob. So, but yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. So this is QLab. I guess if you want to do your.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll pull up the link.
All right, so do you have the other one? What is happening? What is
We can just use that one. If you wanna. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll just close it out.
All right.
Hang on. All right.
Yeah.
So, do I want to save it or no?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So, all right. So we're just going to show you guys like some of the basic capabilities and some of the ones that we use quite often. Oh, am I sitting? Is that what you want me? Okay. Okay. So, to import a cue into QLab, it's very simple. All you do is click and drag your file and just stick it on in there. And then it's in the program ready for you to use. Let's see. It's probably got a pre-wait on it. Let's see. Yeah. Ooh, she loud. So, you've got a bunch of different little capabilities. Like you can do the hotkey trigger, which is what we were doing with the MIDI sliders and everything. And so that little wait, I don't want that. So you can just trim it out and get it to start like that, which is really nice. Audio levels, it's way too loud right now, so you can just turn that on down. Nice. And then if you want that to fade out, you can implement a fade. And And let's see. You have to specify the master and everything. And then just fire it like another cue. So yeah, you can do all sorts of funky stuff in it. I love it so much.
So the other things that we did, so in our project, there was like the ambient, kind of the starting music. And then once this is done, it automatically, using these kind of like arrows, will start the next one. So we just basically built in like kind of about 10 minutes worth of just background music so that we had stuff behind us, which was pretty nice. These are all triggered using like MIDI triggers, which you can, once you click capture, you can capture just like that.
And then you can fire it.
Yeah, and then you can fire it. So those were just running all the time in the background if we ever wanted to just trigger one like you saw. This actually is 30 seconds long, and then after that it automatically goes to the first page.
Yeah, so our PowerPoint slides are JPEGs that we're firing like a PowerPoint.
But it treats them like video in the software. Even though they're JPEG files, you can see them, they're still considered video. Yeah, which is fine. But this is how you actually add a camera right here. So if you just click on that and just drop it in, and then you can go through and change the display. So if we wanted it to be on a different surface, you can change that. If you want to adjust the size of it, you can change that as well, so it's pretty interesting. And then to edit video, if you just drag something in, you can trim it just like she was showing you right here, time and loops. So this SquarePants video starts there, which we obviously do not want. It's a little much. So we can trim it to the beginning of the song and then trim the ending as well. So that way it automatically starts then, instead of having it start at the beginning of that video. But the coolest thing I thought was whenever, because I was trying to figure out how to, try to get the sound from our, these, because they were playing in the background, to kind of get those to stop playing while this happened. Because it was very weird to hear Stranger Things and then SpongeBob happen at the same time. So if you go into, I believe it's under one of these. Am I crazy?
Where'd it go?
Yeah. Oh, okay.
There it is. Yeah.
So under triggers, you can duck audio of other cues in the list while running. So like if you select this, you can duck it by 0, and then choose which file to duck it by, which is pretty neat. So.
Yeah.
But yep, that's QLab.
That's QLab.
That's our presentation. Yeah. It's not on.
Oh no! Oh no!
No. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
So, but anybody have any questions?
Hello.
So when you're trimming the video, you can't see the frames?
You cannot see the frames. You have to trim it and then go back and play it. Yeah, so you have to.
You can see the time,
Yeah.
so if you know
So
where in the
thing.
video, the time in the video.
I don't think it's really designed so much for doing it then. It's something. It's kind of a thing like, oh, you've already edited this before and then put it in. So they're expecting this to be like a quick during the show, like you need to change it quickly kind of thing. So.
Which is very nice.
Yeah,
but-
it's
which
a
I've
nice
had to
function,
do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Other questions? In order to control the lighting, you mentioned you have to have another program?
Yeah, so DMX is basically the protocol for lighting. Here, let me go to QLab's website.
Yeah.
I do think the lighting is an extra paid function. But this is how lighting cues work. So there's a whole nother dashboard for it. And you can see how you can basically program it to run through different intensities and different lighting fades and presets and all kinds of stuff.
It's basically its own lighting board inside of QLab.
Yeah, exactly. But this, again, was a paid function. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't have any lighting to control.
Yeah.
So I guess my question is, Tyler, this multi-channel project you're talking about, where do you see that running? I mean, does QLab necessarily need to be running in a
theater space, or could that run in a gallery space, or what are you thinking about in terms of this
It depends on where the installation is, I guess.
Okay.
So yeah, probably just like I don't really want it in a theater, I guess, per se.
Yeah.
But it mainly it's based on the designs. So like whatever you design the space to be. I just look at this as more of like the control software, because I do not want to have to like have Pro Tools open and like click play. I'd rather just bounce files and put it into this, and then have like be able to sit in the audience and trigger it from my phone. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It makes it to where it could be just me to do the whole project instead of having multiple people to help do the project. You know? So that's the way I look at it.
Cool. And Jodi, you had used QLab before this research project. What did you learn through this process that you didn't know before from just using QLab?
I mean, honestly, I didn't realize that it had so many capabilities because I've been using it solely for audio and solely for like just firing one cue after the other after the other. Like I didn't realize it could do so many different things.
Yeah.
Once I started like researching it and looking into the website, I was like, oh my god, it can do video and it can do cameras and it was crazy.
You can even do projection mapping with it, which is pretty
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
Another paid function, but yes, they can do that. There's a lot of caveats that comes with it.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Is there a way to send like different audio files or tracks to different outputs?
Yeah. So that's all done through the workspace settings. So yeah, you can definitely see audio patch and mic patching. So you can definitely send it through different aggregates.
yeah, because we do that in theater. We can send it to like different speakers and
device routing and effects requires a license. So, yeah, they're pretty. Yeah.
So like if I wanted to play a track on the speakers and then have a different track go to like the headphones of the performer.
Yeah. Yep.
That's all through audio patch.
Yep.
Right, I think it's 2 channels in the free version.
Yeah, in the free version, you're only 2 channel.
Yeah.
I think that, I mean, to their credit, they have a free version that you can do a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think they've very carefully thought about where is the line where we want to charge money for this.
Yeah.
So we can still, I mean,
It's a company.
requires work to build this program, basically. So
Right.
Let's get people working with it, thinking through how it works, learning the interface, and then these kind of key functionalities that with moving into the more pro space are things that you need a license for.
Yeah.
And I mean, you saw their licensing is that you can either rent it by the day or you can pay for
It was
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, Tyler highlighted the buying price, but there's also the rent to own version that if you need it for a week,
you can only
$4 a day, that's times 20 times 7, that's 28.
Yeah.
So
$28.
Not bad for everything it can do.
But you have to program it and do everything within that week.
Yeah.
So,
you have to get it all set up in a week.
Just kind of, I don't know. That would worry me a little bit. But,
Nah.
All right.
one more round of applause.
I don't know if it'll do it.
We'll do it? Nope.
No.
Not set up on this one.
Ding dang. Such
Okay.
is life.
But thank you. Cool.